Tesla stock is up 3.5% at the time of recording this video. What is going on? Well, we have some pretty big news. I should point out that the RSP, the equal weight S&P, is down 0.1% today, whereas the S&P is only up 0.2%. So Tesla is way outperforming. First up today, Deutsche Bank has named Tesla a top pick with a $295 price target. They say, quote, "At the core, we do not see Tesla as an automaker, but rather a technology platform attempting to reshape multiple industries, deserving of a unique type of valuation framework. Tesla structurally already has a big lead in BEVs, especially as it relates to scale and cost, and commands outsized brand value globally. Near-term automotive deliveries and margins have indeed been softer, but we view this as temporary ahead of new models and refreshes coming in the pipeline. Long-term, Tesla is an emerging leader in autonomous driving, robo-taxis, and humanoid robots. Optimus, in our view, which represents some of the most clear and lucrative applications of end-to-end AI. Furthermore, the energy storage business is already undergoing a major growth and margin inflection, set to generate $13 billion in sales in full year 2025. Now, this is something I've talked about for a long time now. It's got to be 6 months or maybe a year, but inevitably, once the GPU hype dies down, I think the hype, if you will switch to who is providing real-world AI, who is actually utilizing these NVIDIA products and creating a product or a service that makes sense, right? If you're Google or Amazon or any of these other companies that are buying GPUs, you know, AI is such a small portion, tiny portion of their business. Investors want to actually see some AI returns. They want to see some AI results, and the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward, generally speaking. And Tesla's, you know, creating full self-driving and robots and these things have come with high risk for a long time, but the reward is going to be massive. So I think when you're just looking out at the markets, what companies are going to benefit the most from AI, that are going to change the most and reward shareholders the most, it's obviously Tesla. And Deutsche Bank is the first bank or, you know, institution that I have heard from that has actually talked about Tesla's application of end-to-end AI in the context of, you know, FSD or Optimus, and really what that could mean for Tesla's hype in the medium term, the next 1 to 3 years. In fact, I actually think $295 is a pretty respectable price target. I think that's pretty low, if I say so myself. Once you start to get more of Wall Street on board with this whole Tesla's going to be successful with robotaxis, Optimus, it's coming down the line, and Tesla's the biggest AI company in the world. Especially once the Fed starts to get multiple cuts in the books, that's where I think a lot more attention will turn to software, you know, related AI and specific hardware, software related AI, like what Tesla is doing. And thus for 2025, I actually don't think NVIDIA and your GPU providers are going to be the area of hype. If there is an area of hype next year, it's going to be real world providers of AI, in which there's really not that many of them. Tesla's by far the standout here. We also have this news that the European Union will lower proposed final tariffs on Tesla and slightly trim rates for other electric vehicles from China after taking into account submissions by the companies. Tesla's proposed tariff rate will drop to 7.8% from 9%. So the good news just keeps rolling. And we got Tesla China insured units out today that came in much better than expected at 16,200. Last year, during this same week, you had 10,700 registrations. So year over year, this is some pretty damn impressive growth. And this is the third strongest week of this entire year. So it's getting Wall Street kind of excited on Tesla China's prospects. And Tesla, again, is the most registered electric vehicle in the past week. And what could be the biggest news of all today, Tesla and Uber have launched an in-car integration of ride-sharing navigation directly into its Tesla vehicles for Uber drivers. And here's kind of what this looks like. From Hunter Newberry on X, he gives us the first images of this. He says, huge round of applause for Uber and Tesla. This is the biggest quality of life improvement since FSD itself. It works like a charm. One button press sends the customer pickup location straight to Tesla Nav for FSD. I've had to manually enter destinations on my screen for literally many thousands of times. And it says, Uber driver, navigate from your Tesla. You can now view navigation information on your Tesla screen. Tap to set it up. And here you can see it's basically taking your Uber drivers, if you Uber in your Tesla, and directly integrating that just straight into the computer interface of the Tesla, which is one step closer to an outright Tesla Uber robotaxi partnership. Now, I know a lot of people are not fans of the prospect of Tesla and Uber partnering, but Uber does have the software integration side of what could be Tesla's next challenge, and that is creating a software app that massive amount of people adopt to, right? It's one thing to actually create an app, create a software. It's a totally different thing to actually get millions of people to sign up for that app, right? To get millions of people to actually use that. If it's an option within Uber already to take a fully autonomous Tesla instead of a driver, I think a lot of people would probably opt for the Tesla and the autonomous driver. So it could be a benefit for Tesla to partner with Uber from the sense of you will get a lot of exposure quickly from people that already use the Uber app that, you know, say a robotaxi ride, a fully autonomous ride is just another option. It would really boost Tesla's penetration quickly in the robotaxi or ride-hailing service market. Instead of, again, Tesla developing an app, trying to get people to sign up to that app just for, you know, a Tesla robotaxi ride specifically. And if you think about it, I mean, robotaxi is not going to launch everywhere all at once. There's going to be regulatory approvals and hurdles that have to be done in different cities. If Tesla was just on the Uber platform and people could opt into getting a Tesla robotaxi ride instead, then in those certain areas where a Tesla robotaxi was available, then you could opt for that instead of someone, let's say here in Michigan, like myself, trying to get a Tesla robotaxi ride when it launches on the West Coast first in California, let's say. I'll never get a robotaxi ride over here in Michigan, right? So what's the point of me downloading that? What's the point of me even trying to do that if the software isn't launched here yet? So that's the kind of issue that I see that could start for Tesla. It's one, getting people onto a Tesla app, right? Onto the Tesla mobility app. Who knows exactly what they're going to call it. And then it's another thing to actually have the Tesla robotaxi available to actually take you somewhere. That's where I do think some Tesla partnership with Uber could make sense. I mean, these things are really apples to oranges, though. It's kind of like direct to consumer sales approach for Tesla that Tesla has taken, and the dealership model. They both work, right? There's pros and cons to both. Let's face that fact. GM and Ford, they do fine selling on dealerships. Tesla does just fine selling direct to consumer. Now, I know some people are going to say, well, Ford and GM, their stocks suck. And yeah, because they're not creating Powerwalls or Megapacks or FSD or Optimus or any of the other things that Tesla has done over time. That's why Tesla is the company it is today. And it's not GM or Ford, because Tesla's not a car company. But from the prospect of how Tesla and Ford and GM sell vehicles through dealerships or direct to consumer, that's just not even relevant in the total aspect of what differentiates GM, Ford, and Tesla. So hopefully that makes sense. Whether or not Tesla partners with Uber on something larger, it's apples to oranges. It really doesn't matter. Now, we do have some other news today like this. Kia is targeting Tesla owners with a new Conquest cash incentive, offering them up to $1,500 to switch from their Tesla to a new Kia EV. Elon Musk also provided a small update tonight on Tesla's Dojo supercomputer. He says, quote, "We should have Dojo 2 in volume production by the end of next year, 2025. That will be comparable to an NVIDIA B200 type system. I have some improved convinced in Dojo, but we won't really know how good it is until version 3. Usually it takes 3 major iterations on a technology for it to become excellent, and we'll only have the second major iteration next year. The third iteration may be late 2026. As far as option activity in Tesla stock today, you have seen 17 different trades totaling $8.03 million with a positive order value of 96%. So it's pretty positive if you're looking at option activity in Tesla, despite the markets that actually sold off into the end of the day today. Tesla's short interest of free float sits at 2.96%. You have $17.8 billion currently sold short in Tesla, totaling 82.28 million shares. We have return shares today of 1.2 million and borrowed shares of 51,000. That means there's over 1 million shares that are actually being covered on today, which kind of makes sense with the outperformance you were seeing in Tesla stock. On StockTwits, sentiment for Tesla is bullish at 74, much better than yesterday's 55, which was still bullish, but not nearly as bullish. Message volume today is normal at 52. Yesterday it was normal at 46, so message volume is increasing. And participation ratio today is high at 56. Yesterday it was high at 55. On the day today, the percent of stocks currently trading above their 50-day moving average is at 43.54%. So you are declining today. About 2.28% of stocks are breaking below their 50-day moving average. CNN's Fear and Greed Index today is at 37, which is getting deeper into fear territory. Yesterday, you were at 42, which was also in fear, but not as deep as where we are today. The 2 and 10 yield curve inversion is inverting further today, or uninverting further today, by at least 1 basis point. Now you are uninverted 0.04%, so 4 basis points now. And this is 4 trading days in a row that you're actually still in uninverted. NFIB Small Business Survey signals continued weak sales and a profit recession. And inflation is still the single most important problem facing small business owners in August, according to the NFIB. NFIB Business Optimism Index came in lower than expected today. We were expecting a number of 93.6. We came in at 91.2, so business owners are not feeling as optimistic as we were hoping they were. Tesla's stock has almost completely erased the gain on the day today. Tesla's stock is now up only about 1.1% heading into the close of the trading day today. It looks like we found more resistance around this 50-day moving average today, around $224 per share. Tesla stock's currently at about $219 per share. And what do you expect when markets just, sell off like they did today? You're going to get some broader weakness in Tesla and basically everywhere else that is outperforming, right? It kind of drags everything down with it. To the downside, you really want to watch this trend line. We got back above this longer term downtrending trend line, and I want to see here if we can find some support at this level. It's going to be around 215. So if we can hold above 215, that's going to be really good. If you break below that, well, that's not going to be as good. And then you also have your 20-day moving average that coincides with roughly that 215 level. Now, we do have the CPI report coming out tomorrow morning. That is going to be the next big catalyst for markets. In a weird way, if it comes in too low, that's going to be a problem. If it comes in too high, that's also going to be a problem. So tomorrow's going to be an important day if we get a big move higher or lower in the CPI relative to expectations. And we'll go over all of that in the next video. But that CPI report does have big implications for Tesla stock, as Tesla does have really high beta, usually 2x the market. So Tesla tends to underperform the markets when markets are bad and outperform markets when markets are good. So if we have a bad day tomorrow, it wouldn't surprise me if Tesla has a really bad day. Or if we have a good day tomorrow, it wouldn't surprise me if Tesla has a really good day tomorrow. So nonetheless, the next video coming out here on the channel at 8 p.m. tonight, I highly recommend you guys join us for that heading into tomorrow. I will give you my perspective of what I think is going to happen next. So with that said, let me know what you think about this video down below in the comment section. Hit the like button as well as subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.